This is my nightmare. This is truly, actually my nightmare. Hey, thank you all so much for watching this video. This wasn't supposed to be, but is going to be the second video on my channel. I had some other videos that were planned out, including my trip to London, a few other just like general vlog videos and having gone gluten-free and everything like that. However, the coronavirus happened. The whole channel is about health anxiety, normal anxiety, and just sort of like things I'm trying to do to get better myself, and like what I'm working on and how I'm attempting to grow despite these things, these issues that I have. And honestly, I think I was kind of doing okay, and I still am I'm trying my best. I'd be lying if I said that this has not been really, really hard. I have health anxiety, which means I am up all like I don't do well with sick, and I don't do well with the threat of sick, and it's a really complicated thing to go through, but it is. My health anxiety strongly ties into the idea that like I'm so afraid of dying. And I know everyone is to some degree, but the compulsive thoughts that happen that like spiral at the idea that like something could happen to me or something could happen to my husband, it controls my life to some degree. So this virus, this horrible, miserable virus, people are getting sick and people are dying from a disease that's not, it's not just like self-containing. It's spreading, it's everywhere. And with something like the symptoms start off as allergies and end in pneumonia and then death, this is my nightmare. And I worry because like my husband has asthma, and I don't know if that means anything, but it doesn't matter because I'll stay up all night thinking about whether or not he's more susceptible, because if I'm sick, he's sick, and if he's sick, I'm sick, and that's how that's gonna go because it's such a highly contagious thing. And I don't want to get sick because I don't want to get him sick, but I don't want to get sick because I don't want to die. And I know that there's a lot of reason to believe that like getting sick doesn't mean you're gonna die, especially if you're young and healthy, but you have to understand, I don't feel healthy. My mental state revolves around the fact that I feel like there's something going on all the time. I don't know if the answer is like, go out and live your life, or stay home and don't. Because I've tried staying home and not doing anything, but my job revolves me being surrounded by my friends who all actively, like, they're Uber drivers. One literally drives medical equipment around. The other two are teachers, which means they're surrounded by people all the time. So, like, I don't have a lot of choice. So I really can just sort of panic about it all the time, or I just have to kind of keep living and being responsible. And trust me, I wash my hands all the time. I don't know if you can tell. Can you tell how chapped they are? No. You're a good boy. Yeah. I'm trying to do all the things but like today, so I have not gone out of my house in like 5 days. And it's crazy because there's so many things to think about though, right? Because it's only going to get worse. So it's like, do you go out now when you can, or do you never go out again? Or like what are the rules to handling something like this? Like, I know there are rules for normal people, but I'm not normal people. I need guidance on this kind of stuff. And so I went out to Chipotle today, and I went and I got a drink, and I made sure I was 6 feet away from everybody, and I washed my hands, but like at the same time I still touched everything, and I still had to order from a person. I don't know if they're showing up sick or not, but I still did it, and I can't tell if it's a stupid thing or if it's a victory. And that's what's really been hard about this, is I can't gauge my progress. But like, what are you using to cope with this kind of thing? Because it's scary even to normal people, but like, what are you doing, and how do you feel about something that happens? Like, how do you sleep at night? What are your coping techniques? Do you still go out? Do you still eat at restaurants? Are you the person who bought all the toilet paper from Costco? Like, I do really want to just ask, what are your everyday how are your everyday lives impacted by this? How is your mental health impacted by this? What is your advice for people who are having a harder time dealing with it than you? Or are you the one who's having the hard time, and how are people treating you? I'm really thankful for everyone who did decide to watch this video and everyone who leaves a comment. I think it's just something that's worth talking about right now. Like, we're all in this together. Unfortunately, I'm not qualified to tell you. This is a video about how I'm struggling, not a video about how to stop you from struggling. But maybe it'll help just knowing that other people really do feel the same way. Because sometimes it's hard being the person who's struggling and everyone else around you is like, oh, it's just a cold. But like, it's not just a cold. And it's not just like, I'm not just someone who can think that way anyway. Just leave some comments, tell me what you're thinking. This was a bit of a long tangent. I just thought I should kind of address it while it's happening and maybe do some updates as it keeps going. Maybe we can just work this out together.
How you feeling?
Like I can't breathe.
Normally if you can't breathe and you move, it changes. So that probably means it's in your head.
I'm worried I'm sick. I'm worried I'm sick. I'm worried I'm gonna get you sick. I'm worried you're gonna get in trouble if you're sick because you won't be able to breathe because you have asthma.
When did you start worrying? Because you weren't worrying earlier.
I don't know. I just I don't know. I just started.
But you weren't worried before that?
I wasn't thinking about it before.
You want me to keep going?
Today is the first day that the government has actually told us to, like, stay inside, don't go anywhere, don't do anything, basically quarantine yourself. So about 5 days ago, Kyle and I went down and we visited my family, just like my mom, and went to go see her. And we had a really good time. We needed it. There was some channel stuff and just general life stuff that we were working out. It's been a really hard time for both of us for different reasons and for lots of reasons. We definitely needed to go on that trip and to see everybody. It made me very anxious the whole time just because I knew I was interacting with people, and I've obviously been having issues with that. But today, we came back today. We did our big H-E-B grocery shop run, and it was horrible. Literally a line all the way around the entire store, and Kyle and I were both wearing our N95 masks that we got because my mom is in the healthcare industry and she had a few left over for us, which was super great because we ended up really, really needing them. I have a guest here. Hello, McCree. Alright, come on. So I'm counting today as the first official, like, 2-week quarantine, staying in my house, not going anywhere, not doing anything. I have the groceries, I have the animals taken care of, I have things that are done. It has, like, the reaction around it has been really scary, and a lot of things feel really terrifying, and, you know, I wake up every day with similar symptoms to coronavirus because I've had a runny nose for 3 weeks at this point, and I've had headaches, and I always feel like I have shortness of breath and different breathing problems. This has really been a challenge, trying to keep my mental health in check. I was planning on trying a new medication, but I don't want side effects to occur because oftentimes if I'm trying a new medication, I will have side effects, and that's what makes me really anxious about trying them. So I was planning on trying one for my anxiety and depression, but I don't really want to deal with side effects if they occur because my brain will not be able to establish a difference between side effects of a medication and side effects of having coronavirus. So it's been really hard to just sort of live. Sorry, had to switch it up real fast. I feel hot. I wash my hands about, I would say, roughly 15 to 20 times a day now, just to make sure they're completely clean. I honestly can't believe this is happening. And then obviously, like, the way that our government is reacting, the way that people are reacting around me. I have so many friends who won't stay in their house, and I have so many friends who keep telling me that, like, I'm being stupid for wearing masks or for carrying sanitizer or taking it too seriously, but this is, like, my mental livelihood, and I really do have to make sure that I feel okay. it's kind of made me just realize that I have to like face all the things I'm really scared of, like all at once and suddenly, and I just don't feel prepared. I don't feel ready. It's so hard, you know, and my anxiety gets worse as the day goes on. So like as it becomes nighttime, my anxiety gets way worse. And suddenly I have to cough, and wow, I haven't been able to breathe well in a few days, and I haven't seen the sun in forever. Like I haven't been able to go outside, or it's like all these things start to add up, and I can convince myself that I'm sick so easily. I feel so hot. It's like my brain is like, you have to drink water so you don't get sick. My other side of my brain is like, well, you have to take your temperature or else you're not gonna know if you're dying, and maybe it was a wrong read, maybe it was a bad read. So Kyle has been insanely supportive through all of it. He's really great. It's sort of out of both of our hands. Like, this is just something bigger than both of us. I just wanted to kind of throw this in as just like an update. I want to say that I feel okay when I'm not freaking out. I kind of feel okay, but honestly, I am just mostly always freaking out, I guess. Maybe not outwardly so much, maybe not having full-on panic attacks, but I'm just so worried. I can't imagine, like, what if, like anxiety train of thought, I get sick, and then I get Kyle sick, and then we both get the double pneumonia that's been happening when the virus starts manifesting, and then we both have to go to the hospital, but we can't stay in the same hospital room. So now we're both in different hospital rooms. We might even be in different hospitals, and then I can't see him, and he is the most important person who needs to be there if I'm sick, and I'm the most important person who needs to be there if he's sick. And so like, that would just be an absolute nightmare. I can't imagine being sick and away from him. On top of that, like, if we get sick later and all the hospital beds are gone, or, you know, they're completely overrun with people, they don't have any rooms, or it just, I honestly can't even let myself, like, keep going, because it's all I think about all day long, and I just need breaks from it, because I've already anticipated the worst case scenarios. It's all I think about. I've really just tried to remind myself that this will end at some point and the world won't feel like this forever. But that's really hard to do. It's really hard to remember. But yeah, thanks for watching this. Thanks for helping me along with all of this. I really appreciate the comments on my last video, and I will respond to all of the comments on this one as well. I hope the next one is a little happier. So thanks, everybody. Bye.
Turn it up.
No.
Turn it up.
No.
I look fat. Kyle. Give me this. I don't like this angle. It's not gonna work.